2019 Beijing football team. Bring these. Let's give all these young men and women a huge round of applause.
Public service announcement. These videos have the full intentions to be used as conversational tools and purposes only. Anything that is expressed in these videos and videos before and after has the sole purpose of that reason. I know a lot of this stuff is repetitive. I hope that you can understand that. Again, these are for conversational purposes only. The comment box on these videos is for that purpose. Thanks for watching.
What's up, everybody? If you've been around for a while, you know that I coach sports for my son and Little League, baseball and football. Well, my videos have been more inconsistent than normal because it is football season. We have 3 or 4 weeks left. We are making it to the playoffs, so that is where most of my time is going or has been. And I have got behind on this. So this video right here is probably one of the biggest videos that I've made in a while as far as just the amount of content and the quality of the content, the stuff that I'm talking about, the big things that are going on right now, as I am already behind. May not be a whole lot of editing, I don't know, you'll know it when the video comes out. But I do want to quickly touch on Memphis, and then I want to talk about other stuff. And with Memphis, same as the past couple of videos that I've made, they are racing cars that are a lot faster than what they have been racing. Yes, they are still winning. They are still running off and leaving everybody for the most part, but they are, it's obviously faster cars they're racing. They're racing race cars now, and something I've noticed, every one of Memphis's wins usually are out of the hole. From the jump, they jump out 2 or 3 car lengths, and that's kind of where it stays. Or the other cars reeling them in, they just run out of real estate. I don't know how they get these cars to 60 foot so hard. I know it's the suspension is set up for the street. I've heard several people talking about things you can do that actually are cheaper than race car parts to make a race car work on the street. So I don't know. I'm not going to say because I have no idea what they do to theirs, but they do win in the first 60 foot, and that's usually just where it takes them. It looks like Memphis is not done yet. There's going to be more episodes, and if you follow them on social media, you know that there is big things coming in the future. I'm filming this Friday the 18th at about 3 o'clock, so that tells you how far behind I am. And this week's episode, which was like 4 days ago, Monday, Precious got a Chevelle, and I remember JJ posting this car on social media a year ago. I don't know the story behind it, but pretty cool. It is a lot more street car than anything that she's been racing in the past on the show. So, pretty good little story, I guess, to go with it. But she did win. Everybody won. And she did win with it. But I want to see more cars like that. I do feel like that is why people has an attraction to the Memphis show. It is more reasonable cars that somebody could actually own, and the people do seem kind of down to earth more than the 405, which is like movie stars now. That's how I feel. Truth, I don't know, but that's how I think people perceive it. With JJ and Memphis, it is one side or the other. People like it or people don't like it. There's not really much gray area, and I don't know why it's like that, but that's just how it seems. But Memphis behind us. We will talk about it again. Hopefully next week I can get another one out. But there is a few things going on that I want to bring up. And I want to start with No Prep Kings. No Prep Kings has kicked off its 3rd season, and it is already shaking up and controversy, drama, all kinds of stuff that is going on with No Prep Kings that I am questioning. And let's just start talking about them. The first episode, Chuck and Boosty gets in a fight. I made a video about this when it actually happened, and the reason they got in a fight was goofy. I don't know if the racers are actually doing that as a team, or if that's some kind of drama that they want to put in the show that they think will help the show. I don't know. I can't stand the hollering, the whining, the crying, all of that. It takes away from the racing, in my opinion. Now, trash talking and stuff like that, that's one thing, but just constant whining and talking over each other and all that, it does get a little aggravating. Yes, if you was there in real life, it would probably add to it, but I kind of see where they're coming from. It's just not for me. But I will say this. There is cars that are showing up and that are making it into the, invitational that I don't see really why they are in the invitational. And there's cars that are in the future street outlaws like Dwayne Mills, and they can't make it an invitational when they're obviously faster. I know that the rules have been made for certain people to win, and that is why people like Mike Murillo, when he won, it was such an upset and a shock, is because the rules wasn't made for him to win Season 2 No Prep Kings, but he did. And hats off to him for doing that, because he had to make his car fit the rules versus a lot of the people, the rules were made for them. And I'm not going to say any names. I mean, if you follow the shows, you know who I'm talking about. But nothing against any of them. I mean, if Mike Murillo or anybody gets the rules and reads them and says, I want to go compete here, they know what they're getting into when they go. So there's really not a whole lot of room to argue about it. But it is what it is, and it has made a decent television show up till now. I mean, it's still a good television show. What else are we going to watch right now? But there is some people that are showing up that are making it into the invitational, and there's only 32 cars allowed. So there's a few spots that has opened up. Some of these cars are coming out of nowhere and are fast. Was it Gypsy Gentile? I'm pretty sure that I'm not pronouncing that exactly the way it is, but he went to the finals against Ryan Martin in the very first episode, and then he raced him the very first race on the next episode. So it is some fast cars. There was a lot of, you couldn't even really tell who won races in the first couple of episodes. And the second episode, Team NOLA has come and just taken it over. In the semifinals, it was 3 NOLA guys. So that tells you where their game is right now. LIZZY won the second race after being put out in the third round, maybe fourth round, third round, something like that. But she got lucky in the lucky loser drawing that they have now and come back and won the whole thing. And while I got that brought up, let's talk about the lucky loser. They do that to where when there's just a few cars left, there's not a buy run. And they could do it by drawing 1, but they draw 3. And if they would draw 1, that would give less chances for people who've been put out to get back into the invitational. I think they should just draw 1 person to put back in there. That way, it would still eliminate the buy run at the end, but it wouldn't be 3 of the 4 people getting back into the race. I understand what they're doing, but it's not done the correct way, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. But let's talk about the states teaming up. Team Texas, Team 405, Team NOLA. And in the very first episode, it seemed like there was one person from everywhere who was broke, and they drew straws or picked who they thought needed it or whatever, would call out that broke car to get a free pass in the second round. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. The first round call-outs should not be anybody who could not bring their car to the starting line. That's my opinion. Now, once the first round is over, if your car breaks, you can bring anything up there just to get your 5 points. But to get your first 5 points, to accept a call-out or give a call-out or whatever, they should have to get their race car, the one that they are racing, to the line under its own power. Ronnie Pace didn't like it at all. And he even come out, and you could tell when he was talking about it that he didn't like it. But then when they come out and just flat out interviewed him and asked him, he said that he was an old school racer and he didn't like it at all, but he's seen everybody else doing it, so he said he would too. I respect the man a lot more for just coming on out and saying it. Something else I was talking about with the Future Street Outlaws class and me not knowing how they decide on who gets into the Invitational and who goes to Future Street Outlaws. The Robin Roberts with the high voltage Pontiac. I watched that car being built, tuned and all that online. It was at HPP. I've seen it several places. A beautiful car, fast car. The guy can drive, not taking anything away from the car, driver, tuner, anything. But why does a guy like that jump straight into the Invitational when, there again, I keep going back to Dwayne Mills because he is insane fast. It's like they don't want him into the Invitational, and I don't get it. But what made them pick him over Dwayne Mills? I don't get that. The next thing I'm going to talk about is Megalodon. Megalodon last year won back-to-back Outlaw Armageddon and Bristol, $250,000, $260,000, I think it was he won back-to-back. And then he was not at any No Prep Kings races last year. He said he didn't agree with it. And then he was at the first race of the season for season 3, but he was not at the second one. He is one of the fastest guys there. And why he don't go get a chance at that $40,000 every weekend. Along with everything else going on this weekend is Duck X Productions, Radio versus the World at South Georgia Motorsports Park. Seen Alex Laughlin making a couple passes there. As of this video recording, he had passed on into the second round. He won his first round, so that's where we're at right now in real life. By the time this gets to you, it will be over, I'm sure. But that's where we're at right now. Also, LIZZY MUSI, this is the last week for No Prep Kings, and she is also in Virginia for the PDRA race. So Kai Kelly posted a picture of him on a plane going to watch LIZZY and then going to go back for the championship in No Prep Kings. And Mike Murillo is watching Dwayne Mills at the Radio versus the World race in South Georgia. He posted a picture I thought was hilarious. I put it on the screen. Donald Long, if you follow him on social media, he is known for just ripping Street Outlaws new ones. I mean, he posts so many memes about Street Outlaws, kind of all for jokes, but in the urinals, in the bathrooms at South Georgia Motorsports Park, it says Street Outlaws, and I think it's kind of funny. But I think it's also all for fun. Now, the last thing I want to talk about right quick is the race that's going on this weekend. It is the season finale of Street Outlaws No Prep Kings, and apparently MURDERNOVA has finally decided to join the No Prep Kings crowd. As we know, Chief joined the third episode in, I think it was Kansas. He's been hopping along. He's actually won a race since, and that is kind of for ratings. I feel like his contract was adjusted to put him in that position. I could be wrong. I don't know. I feel like I might get corrected if I am wrong, but I feel like there was some initiative for him to jump out there and put himself in No Prep Kings. The reason I say that is because him and Sean has always went everywhere together, done everything together, and him and Sean is kind of not right now. If it was just to go and see if the car was faster, I feel like Sean would have went with him where he didn't. He seems to be doing his own thing right now with the 187 Customs, as I have talked about in a video in the past. Don't want to get too much into it, but he has joined the cast of No Prep Kings in Season 3 for the very last race at Ennis, Texas. It's not that far of a drive from OKC. I don't know if that's why, but he is there, and I can't wait to see how that turns out. But this has been a long video. I've been long-winded in this video, but there was a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of big things to talk about. I'm not even sure how I'm going to title this video, but I'm ending it right here. Anything you want me to know, say, do, or have, email address is on the screen. Also on the screen is the P.O. Box of the channel. You know the rap. You know how it goes. Anything that you want to send to be entered to win some money, send it to the P.O. Box. Thanks for watching. Godspeed. I'll see you in the next video.